glorious day, my tea sippers, and you know what time it is. I hope you have all of your crumpets together because it's time to dish tea. And you're dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meach.
Can't wait. It's time to dish tea with Big Meach. It's time to dish tea with Big Meach. It's time to dish tea with Big Meach. It's time to dish tea with Big Meach.
Darling.
I just threw up my own intro, but hey, what's going on? What's going on with you, my darlings, my loves, honey, my tea sippers, my crumpet dunkers, my tea brewers, my pot stirrers, my tea leaf readers, and my tea baggers. What's your tea? What is your tea, my darlings, honey? It's another glorious day. And I know you know what time it is, honey, because I hope you have all of your crumpets together, darling, because it's time to dish tea. And you are dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meach. And I know I got to regain all of y'all trust again. I have not been here in a little minute because I have been working on other things. And every time I sat down and said, okay, I'm going to do a show, I sat down on the couch and I had lost my will to get in front of this camera. Okay. And that's just being very transparent with you right now. I'm on this campaign trail, and the ups and downs that I go through with this, the mental anguish that I'm going through from time to time, having to keep reinvigorating myself and recharging myself and reassuring myself about what's going on, because darling, this game here is, I told y'all from the start that this is going to be the grandest education of my life at this time. Okay. And very, very interesting. What is going on with the live? Honey, I know I've been on longer than that, and it looks like it just started recording. Oh, Lord. See, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about, okay? I get up in here and, we're doing this thing and blah, blah, yakety. But nonetheless, I'm going to keep going because I'm looking at this time. I should be much further in here than where I'm supposed to be. In any event, it has just been a road. Okay. And I'm going to share a little bit of that with you. I'm not going to get all off into it here because, for the sake of being political, okay, and that's not going to last long. It's not going to last long. Okay. I'm trying to curtail my cursing and carrying on and all of that. But I know, because I know me, that ain't going to last long. So just know I'm trying to be mindful of it and all of those particular things. All right. But nonetheless, let's start with today. Today, I went out canvassing. And one of the problems that I'm having with my canvassing is that I am by my damn self. Okay. Yesterday, my son Brandon came by, and we were going to go out, but something in me, the energy shifted and changed. And I didn't take him out with me, but he's the only person that I've had to say, okay, yeah, let's go do this. All right. And I told him, I said, no, because I wanted him to watch one of the forums that I had done, and he wanted to watch it with me. So I said, okay, let's do that. And we'll go from there. But today I wanted to give myself 2 hours being out, and it took me that amount of time to do a block because I'm by myself, going up and down, hitting each and every door that didn't have a sign for somebody else, right? So I'm seeing my competitor signs. So those particular houses I didn't go to because you've already made your decision. You got this sign. Okay, now that's not a biggie. But what it is, you're trying to be respectful of everybody's grass or whatever. So I'm not cutting across the grass. I'm not walking on your lawn. And none of that, right? So I got to go up and down, and then we up on hills and this, that, and the other. And I'm going to eat into every house. And yes, it's hot. I got my sweat rag. I got my water up under my arm. The water was cold. By the time I got to maybe like house number 10, it got to where it was quote unquote room temperature, but the room was outside. So it wasn't cold anymore. How about that? So I thought I was going to do another block, but I ended up stepping wrong some kind of way. And I not necessarily twisted my ankle. I had a like a heel spur, and my ankle was just giving me problems, and I couldn't stand like I wanted to stand. So I said, okay, we'll do some more tomorrow. But in this event, honey, it's like, wow, just going up and down and talking to folks, and the few that I've talked to, and this, that, and the other, leaving stuff on your door and all of that. This has just been something. And of course, everybody got Ring cameras, so I'm trying to be nice and considerate. So, and then I'm talking out loud because I'm seeing stuff that's fascinating me and carrying on. But it's just been something. But this campaign trail is really something. I have a lot of people who said they would help. I've been texting folks, hey, oh, whatever you got, baby, I'm there. I'm there. I'm like, okay, good. Come on, let's do this, right? I will give the date. Okay, we're going out like last week. I'm like, we're going out. Nobody responded back. So I'm doing this on my own. All of my competitors and carrying on, they in their warehouses, they got 1,800,000 people, and hell, as I'm talking to them and carrying on, they got coin to pay their workers and carrying on. So it's becoming a little bit that way, and I battle with that when I'm private and carrying on, and I'm like, okay, and I had to focus myself and say, listen, that's their campaign. They're doing it their way. You do it what you know how to do, okay? And so that there is that. We did, we're trying to raise money. I know y'all seen the little thing. I've been blasting the hell out of all of y'all. So whoever gonna do. Whoever ain't. Not a problem, not an issue. But because I don't have the coin to do what I need to do, we got to go makeshift. So I've had to make my flyers and carrying on, right? So we running copies off and this, that, and the other, color and black and white, okay? Don't want to use the color too much. So I got black and white copies and carrying on. So we got that. So we just doing what we do in order to make it happen. So I've not been here because when I'm done with this stuff, honey, I am done. I'm ready to say the world can kiss my ass. You know what I mean? And I'm at that particular point when I come in the house and I sit down on that couch and I'm like, okay, that there is it. So that's one of the reasons why I have not been here. Okay. But I've got to start picking it back up because we have our own little commercial spots and stuff that I got to do because, I'm my own radio show and we don't have the money to have paid spots or whatever. And my competitor, bought advertising at the other show that I work for. So of course, money talks, child. All right. I ain't mad at that neither. It is what it is. That's just the nature of the beast. So since I have my own platform, honey, we got to get my stuff out there the way that I do. Okay. So having said that, we're going to resolved that the citizens, neighbors, and stakeholders of College Park should exercise their voting power and elect into office a leader that will treat the city as a whole city and not by individual wards, accept the ideas of its citizenry respectfully, is willing to have political agendas and critical yet passionate ideologies challenged, and will not only listen to the people, but amplify their voices in true power so that College Park can be the city they have decreed it to be and to become. All right. And there you have it. Why does this thing cut off? I think something's going on with the the StreamYard program, because all of my videos with those last few little seconds have always been cutting off. Usually I have to stop it on my own, but it's on automatic stop or whatever. That's through the program, so I've got to go tell them what's going on. So that there is what's happening on this particular end, honey. That's one of the commercials that I have. I got to put the other one together and going out. Hey, Geneva, what's going on, darling? Detroit in the house. Hey, sis. That's Cody High School right there, darling. Okay. But listen, we're going to get into a couple of things. Let me, I see Red has popped in and he's on minister duty. So let me get him in because he's probably going to stay for a quick little minute and say something quick because they got stuff they got to do tomorrow and things of that nature. So, oh, all right. Yeah, he down here. He in the bed. Look at this. They done tuckered you out, honey.
The Lord's work.
They done tuckered you out. What's going on, player?
Nothing, man. I told you, did you ever check into what I told you as far as getting help?
I have. I've not gotten a response back. How about that?
And then, I know, well, I don't know because these schedules done popped off, but if we happen to have a Saturday or something come up where nobody's, well, they ain't got me locked down, I could get Nick and your doggone nephew.
Okay. We'll keep it together because early voting starts on October 16th. I have a forum on October 18th. Oh, yeah. Oh, and that's gonna be a part 2 of the couple Saturdays to go.
You need to increase your vocabulary.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
Switch out words that you really want to say with words that say the same thing.
Oh, of course, darling, of course. Well, I've been very fortunate, and we've been able to hit where we need to hit. And at this particular point, I send folks over there to the link. At this particular point, I'm noticing that everybody is waiting to see what Demetrius is going to do. Everybody is waiting to see what Demetrius is going to say. Even so much to the point where you can hear my verbiage being repeated because and you can tell that they are really addressing me and my points and this, that, and the other. So what we have done has established that I am a force to be reckoned with. Okay. And because of that, hey, it is what it appears to be. And the children are just the children. All right.
I would come out. You need to come out to the theme music, Underdog.
Okay. That would be so lovely. But
that would be funny.
Even in that, we still got to get over to you to get this song done. And I may end up having to do it because
and that's you.
Folks.
That's been you because
Oh, I know because I'm waiting. Yeah, I know.
I recorded 3 songs with Big Jig.
Oh, really?
Right there in the house.
Okay. No, because I'm waiting. I've been waiting on folks, but I just said, never mind. I'm going to have to come in and just do it myself because it should have been up and we should have been playing it by now. But I want to have it ready for the 18th so that we can go up in here and do what we need to do. Okay. So that there is that. But let me get into something here because I'm going to play this little clip and it's short, but I want us to get into something here because there are moments where we have conversations with people and where we know what they're saying simply by what and how they say something. Look at this.
What should I do? Girl. 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 You're right.
I love that because when I first saw it, I said, bitch, I understood everything they said.
That's funny because I have
Everything
seen.
it said.
It's funny because I have witnessed that.
Yeah. Oh, baby. Oh, sweetie, listen. And when I reposted it, I posted up, I said, listen, my sisters and my sisters, okay, we know that all too well. Okay. We know that all too well. Now, my brothers, you know, we got the same kind of communication as in nonverbal, but it's not that. Okay, it ain't that. What it is, me and Mosa work on looks, and we'll scroll or whatever, the grunts and the body language, right? When you know your brothers are carrying on, you know when to come in, and you know what's up. But my sisters, baby, we can say that girl, girl.
You know what? You know what? From the male perspective of that, the word "yo" is like that between men.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like yo,
Yo,
yo, it's like
yeah,
yo.
yeah, yep, yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Okay. Yo, dude. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh. That's it. That's it right there. But here's what this is, and I don't know how this is in other cultures. We as Black folks, this is something that I know we know. This is us. And I don't know if this is strictly a Black thing that folks just don't understand. Yeah, because I don't know what it is across the other cultures because I've
So
never
no,
witnessed that.
I could almost bet because we as Americans, especially Afro Americans, are a symbolic training tool for other cultures. You know what I'm saying? So,
Oh, that's good. That's good.
so when you look at the different the factors, the way we move, the way we communicate, simple gestures from hip
Uh-huh.
R&B, you know what I'm saying, in the Afro American communities, you seem to trickle down into all the other countries and nationalities
This
of
is
some,
true.
all the way from the way we dress, talk, walk, and dance. So when you look at it, I mean, you probably can look up and you can go over there somewhere where the eyeballs don't open all the way. They can be like Szechuan, Szechuan, Szechuan.
Right, right. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
I mean, you go. Matter of fact, you could go back to the motherland and you probably get. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what.
Right. You know what? I'm not. I'm not. I'm
I'm
not
just.
with you.
I'm just matter of fact, let's take it back to culture, right?
Uh-huh.
Let's say you got three guys standing there, and one walk up and one be like, mm.
Right. Right. I've seen that actually. You know what? No, I've seen that. Yeah.
And that's what I mean. That's what I mean. It's one thing about, and two things for sure that I've learned. We are all the same, but some of us
Yeah.
want to. There's no difference
Oh, this
because
is true.
being alone.
Yeah. Yeah, now that's real. That's real. That there is real. That's
And that's all
real.
I say about that.
Okay, let me go here. Oh, I'm gonna play this. I'm trying to get this stuff out of the way because I think they may end up uh tagging me for copyright or something. But it's too good. You've got to witness this. And yeah, okay. But I want to go here because coming out of communication,
Mm-hmm.
in fact, this is still on the same lines, but I want to get this performance because this here is it's Esterol. I'm gonna call it Florida Evans 2.0. Okay.
Do you remember on piggyback on back before you go there? Do you remember the commercial they used to have where they say, "What's up?"
Yeah. What's up? Uh-huh.
What's
Yeah.
up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Same
that's
thing. Yeah.
everything. Right. I don't care where you go. It's the same.
Yeah. That was the same thing. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, that was this.
Uh,
That was exactly that. All the tones, the inflections, all of that determined if you was having a good. All of that was a whole conversation. It was an entire conversation, and those who didn't get it, only just saw it as just what's up and the tongue dangling, but they didn't understand that was an entire conversation. Okay.
I just had a conversation about 4 nights ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was speaking on the level of education that I have in your community
Right.
because of you being my brother in life. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And when I started speaking the verbiage, because we were on the subject of
Did you
alphabet,
get did you get them terms?
hey,
Did you?
when I say that I was making confused faces,
Right.
and I said, "Oh, I feel like I learned a whole other language," because it's like,
Right, because you did. Because you did.
right, it's like they looking at me like, and so one, you try to see who is the most inquisitive person in the room. And there was one guy, he was like, "Nah, Brian doesn't that pay. What's the name mean? What does this mean right here?"
Uh-huh.
He was
Uh-huh.
like, "You just wouldn't let that pass, dog." So,
Right.
and when I told him, he said, "Wow." He said, "They deep, bro. They got their own little, you know what I'm saying? They slick me saying something right in front of me. I want to." I
Right.
said,
Exactly.
"Yeah."
Right. And which is the whole point. But to that's been us as a people all anyway.
Uh-huh.
Because even during our slave times over here in this country, that's what that was. The whole idea of what were Negro spirituals are carrying on, weight in the water was language.
Language, yeah.
That was the code that we, and you just thinking we singing, honey, but no, we talking to one another.
And the historical part of our culture, that's what Pig Latin came from. The his
Yeah.
aim, his up, you know what I'm saying? All
Uh-huh.
that
Uh-huh.
talking, having full conversations, and a person standing next to you don't know what you said.
Hold on, somebody. Oh, what I do? I didn't hit that. There we go. Thank you. Oh, hey, baby. What's going on? I'm getting a lot of new faces this evening. That there is lovely. Okay. Now let me do this because, like I said, this here on that whole communication level, but this here is something that we know. We know this.
Mm-hmm.
And as people of faith, just take a listen.
I seen him night after night come in here and look at this rug and look at me. Dread showing in his eyes, the veins working and working like somebody's old horse, killing himself, and you give it all away in one day, Walter Lee. Walter Lee. Oh, God. Look down here and show me the strength. Father! Strength! Strength!
Woo! My God. Baby. Oh, that sends chills. 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 Down my spine.
You ain't got that.
Oh, God. That, because you feel that. And it's
You
that,
ain't.
it's that holler. Was she just Father?
Could you imagine if they was mic'd up in the auditorium?
Oh, God. Listen, that there, that's from 1989, and they did that for PBS. Okay, I Raised It in the Sun. That's where that comes from, y'all.
Oh, I know. I know.
And that was recorded, for television. But could you imagine seeing her do that, which she did, night after night? Just being in, oh, God. And I need to hear Felicia Rashad do that because she won the Tony for it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see her do that. But Esther Roll, right? Oh, God. Oh. And every time, see, everything in it, again, just the presence in that. And the delivery, that is the holler out to God in a time where you done gambled away my entire future, or our future, gambled it away and lost it. What you say? You done lost it in one day. I watched this man turn old and 40. Oh, before he was 40. That, when you hear that, and when we're looking at the world today, okay, phenomenal acting, child, but Geneva, here's what the T is, because how many of us of faith understand what that cry was? See, that there when we crying out and into our own world, and you don't see that you done just had an implosion and it don't know what to do, and that'll cry out to God like that. When you really want to destroy something, but destroying it ain't gonna make it no better, and you have to cry out. How many of us really understood that is when, it comes into like, oh my God, is this acting or no, honey? You know what I'm saying? That's a masterclass performance right there. You better say that. Okay, right. Frustration. Okay. Frustration. Okay. Just all of that, all of what that means, child. It comes out, and we sit up and we want to know what's happening. We want to know just what the T is, and when we're talking, and when we're having to communicate, what is it that we think is the disconnect Because the last two pieces, we've seen that how we're able to make the connection. When we're in the places where we feel as though folks don't get it, or folks don't hear us, or folks don't whatever, what do you think that is? Do we think, is it because we're speaking a different language? Does it come across like nobody has made the connection? Okay, you said I can feel her pain. Yes, you felt all that. You feel all of that. That was 1989. You understand? That performance is 1989. Girl, we had just graduated high school. We just come out of high school. Okay. And to hear that now, you can still feel it as if she just did it. And Sister Esther, honey, she's one of the ancestors now. Okay. She's one of the ancestors now. But to hear that we right there in it. Now, what is it about us as human beings? Because we see that as a performance, right? And like I said, I'm in my shoulders because all of that is here in my shoulders. And I want to shed a tear with her and carrying on, right? But here we are. What is it when we have that same cry out? What is it when we're trying to make sure that folks hear us and understand us? And y'all know I'm running this race here. Well, I'm not running. I'm saying through. Okay, being a candidate for mayor, and being out here and listening to people, and people hear my message, and then people challenge the message. You know what I'm saying? And it becomes like, okay, what are you not hearing? Because you're asking me the same question. I just answered that question, but now you want to ask me the question 1,600 times. And it becomes, okay, what am I not doing? How is it that I'm not connecting? What is it about connecting with people that you think that you believe may be missing? Okay. Road, what's going on, baby? Welcome back. What do we believe may be the disconnection in communicating? And I want y'all to take that across the board. Look at it in your personal life. Look at it in your business life. Look at it in your church life. Look at it in just your everyday life with your kids, okay, your husband or your spouse, okay. Look at it across the board and look at how many times you have to sit back and say, you know what? Am I making the connection? You know what I'm saying? Am I making this connection? Are we able to do this? Okay, let me replay this. Let me replay the bestie. Let me replay.
What should I do? Girl. 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 You're right.
I just love that. I so love that because I understood everything. When we think we're doing that, okay, when we think we're doing that, okay, versus getting into where it gets muddy, the waters get cruddy, and things, and you sitting up there saying, okay, I know you heard me. You know what I'm saying? What is that for us? What is that? Being out here, or how about when folks get shady with you? You're communicating, but you thinking that you made a connection, but then all of a sudden it becomes a whole different ball game. It becomes something else, and then they end up taking it into left field or jumping to a conclusion because they really didn't understand you. They done added their own little brand of bullshit to it, and then it becomes convoluted. And it's like, hey, wait, what just happened here? I thought we were on the same page. What just happened? You understand? I'm telling y'all, honey, that there, whoo, yeah, that's everything for me. That's everything. That's everything For me. Okay, let me do this. I'm gonna keep playing this little commercial of mine. Where's my other one? Oh, I got one. Yes, God. That's my sister Stephanie Mills on that, honey. I love that song. Okay, I love that song. Jaquel, what you say? I think that when people don't look like you, sometimes they fail to understand you, no matter who you are. So when they are looking at you, but not seeing you, they're not getting it. Well, okay, that may be it. You know, it's cultural differences. You know, our cultural differences will keep us from communicating with one another. Our cultural differences will stop us from uh, actually listening or hearing. Now, you know, everybody got to know the definition of the difference between listening and hearing. Okay, whichever one you decide to define as you understand, comprehend, and it sits and you get the message and you can repeat the message back to me the way that you heard it. Okay, and we on one accord. There, either you listened to me or you heard me, one of the two, however you define it. Okay, because we always interchange that. But I want to make sure that everything is comprehensive. You know, total comprehension. So there's no misunderstandings, there's no misgivings. You understand that there we are crystal clear, baby. Crystal clear. Okay. And then we won't have any misunderstandings and mishaps and happenstances. You understand? So yeah. Now let me go here because I never gave a thought or talked about the whole O'Shea. What's the baby's name? The dancer that was killed. What about a month and a half ago now? And I saw all the tributes, and I see all the people, you know, coming together, and those who were in the ball scene. You know, they got out there, they got to voguing and did a whole uh, choreographed number in his honor and in his memory. And for me, it becomes so tiring to have to memorialize our own that way. And then we have to always bring into a fact that, oh, he's gay, same gender loving, LGBTQ. You know, we have to bring that into effect. And the fact that um, it happened because somebody did not want to see him dancing or felt that whatever it was, okay? And because you or the person felt as though he could not just have words or do whatever, it escalated to something else. And so now this boy has lost his life, this baby, this wonderful, incredible person has lost his life. And my question becomes, when are we going to stop justifying or using mental illness to justify crime? When are we going to stop using age to justify a crime? When are we going to stop using circumstances to justify a crime? Now, we understand what crime, you know, in the heat of passion, but there was no passion there. Okay. The way how that attack happened, and I remember seeing what the little video footage or whatever, there was no act of passion, or they were just enthralled. This was deliberate. The same way how the guys in Alabama, you know, decided to throw blows on the dock worker. Okay. I'm not one who's going to advocate saying that everybody need to get a gun to protect themselves. I'm not going to necessarily advocate for that because I don't necessarily think that that's the answer. Because if you got a gun and I got a gun and they got a gun, then we just sitting up here being the okay corral, waiting on the shootout, waiting to see who gonna die. Okay. And I've always been told that when you pull a weapon when you have to, if you pull it, you better use it. Now, I've never fired a weapon before, but I've had billy clubs, I've had knives, I've had other little objects that I've had. But when are we going to stop being so senseless? When isn't it so diabolical? Is it diabolical, or is it irony? Isn't it ironic? Let's make it ironic. Isn't it ironic that a nation that's claimed to be so Christian, the whole Christian nation, sits down and they advocate for murder, they advocate for dismemberment, they advocate for all kinds of ills and misgivings to people who they deem to be different or in sin, if you will, or going against the grain. But yet we are a Christian nation who claims that everything about me, I'm being very biblical and this, that, and the other. And for those of you who say, oh, well, the Bible said that gays got to be stoned to death, that's also Old Testament. Okay. And and I'm not gonna get into a whole Bible study on that. But it just behooves me that we allow these things. Just a few, was it today or yesterday? Yesterday, because I was at work. There's another video that's going around, and I believe this was a drag queen, not necessarily a trans girl, but she's, got hair and this, that, and the other. And she's walking down the street. Now, we never get to see her face, but we see all this hair, we see her body, and she basically becomes attacked by guys because they were upset at the fact that she said, I'm trying to get by, move your cute self out the way. And about maybe 5 or 6 of them, okay, they threw wet floor signs, I think it was, and whatever, all kinds of stuff they threw at her. And then they came up, somebody drop kicked her, and all this other jazz. Why and what gives us the audacity to think that we're supposed to be able to do that to folks? And it's okay. Because in that moment, I thought, now, if this girl had had a gun on her and shot their asses dead, would she be in the wrong? If she had turned around and shot the shit out their asses, would she be in the wrong? See, this is the kind of stuff that gets me upset. And then we claim that it's not my business. I can't get into it because nobody said, hey, leave it alone, man. Man, let the child, let it be. You said what you said. Come on, we ain't got time for that. Nobody does all that. Everybody sit around, they laugh, they cackled, and then those who were recording. So why is it that we think that living in a world that there is no consequences for your actions? See, it's one thing to be accountable, but when accountability doesn't have consequences, then what is it? Okay, what is it? Isn't that what we say about asking for forgiveness? If it's not coming from your heart, then why ask for it? Because you don't mean it anyway. I'm trying to understand that. I want to get a better sense of why we feel as though these things kind of happen. And it goes into simultaneously when we talk about those who feel as though it is your responsibility to go and kidnap these girls and these kids and carry it on so that they can work for you. You got a whole sex ring going on. And you're going to force someone into prostitution so you can take their money. Who and what gives you the authority to say that you're supposed to do that. And if the person had had a gun and shot the shit out your ass because you violated them or whatever, or better yet, not just you, but the John you trying to ship them off to or whatever, if they had shot their way out of it, would they be wrong? See, these are some of the questions that's always in my head because I totally believe in protecting ourselves. But y'all heard me say this before when it comes down to protecting ourselves, because I really think that the gun message is it needs to be re-examined. You keep wanting to talk about Second Amendment, all the Second Amendment says, the Second Amendment says, but y'all not doing it. You're not putting up a better case. You're just saying I have a constitutional right. Okay. But for everybody that says, okay, we need to this with these guns, you never come back to say, okay, you know what, listen, the real thing is this. Protecting myself means that by any means necessary, if it means I kill this fool, then so be it. Because it becomes me or them. Nobody says that. We say protection. So that means that are we always going into learning how to shoot without killing? Because see, there's some places, as some people, I don't want you dead. No. No, I want you to suffer with that damn bullet in your damn hip. So every time you walk, honey, that metal rubbing up against that bone, I want you to understand what it is that you've done. Okay, so that it doesn't happen again. Now, of course, some of y'all will say, well, death, honey, I can guarantee it won't happen. But see, that's too easy because see, then they just getting away with it. They done got away with it and they dead and gone. And there's nothing else to pay for it. And that's the kind of retribution that I'm into. No, I want you to pay for your actions. I don't want justice. I want retribution. I want you to pay for it. Okay. But that there is me. And this whole thing with Mr. O'Shea, it disturbed me because we go back on this whole thing of what does this mean? Okay, why isn't that we can't have protections? And then it becomes the whole idea of straight versus gay. Because those who feel as though, oh, he was gay, he shouldn't have been no damn sister, he should have been out there dancing to the music, whatever. We get ridiculousness that comes into play when it comes down to folks wanting to express their opinion about something. And I really believe that a lot of folks say that shit because of social media, and they feel they can just type or whatever and just have a gut reaction because they're looking for the argument, they're looking to get the likes, they're looking to get someone to pay attention to them on social media so that they can monetize and then this, and this. And sometimes, that's gaslighting and, sitting up there putting out bait and baiting people to sit down there and to get a response. But at the same time, some of that shit is true. Okay, some folks really believe the stuff that they put out there. And so it becomes, what do we do with this? What do we do? How do we get ourselves to get into better conflict resolution skills? Because y'all heard me say this before too. Folks are scared of ass whoopings these days. You're scared of an ass whooping, but at least you're still here to tell the story. You still here to you still living to tell the story. Why are you afraid? Because you got so much mouth that you can't back your mouth up unless you got a gang of people and or some form of weaponry. That's not making sense to me. In nobody's book, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And here's the big one. Here's the big one. What about the parents of these people? No, you can't control their actions. But what about the parents of these people who tend to defend their actions, which I get because that's my baby. But if you were anything like my mother, Essie LeBrain, she always told us, "I got you when you're right, but if you out here doing some foolishness, you will go to jail because I didn't raise you like that, and you're not gonna sit down here and bring shame to this name and to this house. I'm not going to support or reward bad behavior." And we seem to get away from that. We seem to want to turn a blind eye. We got senior citizens scared. The same one. And see, this here, this is what got me. Because my mother was never scared, but when her health started giving her issues, you know, I can see that as a woman, she was like, "Ooh," she wanted to make sure that somebody was with her at all times. You know what I mean? And I know my mama can handle it. Listen, y'all heard me tell that before. My mother can handle herself. But let's look at our senior citizens. Let's look at our parents and our grandparents if we still have them. Okay. Those of y'all that's in my age bracket, you understand what I'm saying. Because we over 50 now. Okay. We late 40s, over 50. Those in that area, okay, our parents are in their 70s, 80s. If you still got your grandparents are in there, almost 100. Okay. If not 100. So when we're talking about, a lot of them, they're not as vibrant as they were. I mean, they're not as virile. That's the better word. Because they're still vibrant, because they're still alive, their mind is still sharp. But they're not as virile as they once were. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of that, they look like they become easy prey. And it's frightening. It's frightening that we have not taught our kids better. We have not taught the world better. We keep saying a village, but the village is not. Y'all heard me say the village has become the villain. Okay, we don't respect our elders. We don't respect kids. We don't take nothing into consideration anymore. Everything is so microwave instantly. And then on top of it being microwave, now we got the added thing of this reality TV show type mentality. Like all I got to do is cut up because somebody got a camera and I can get likes. And yet we have a whole population of folks who now have to be afraid of their lives because of some foolishness. You can't even trust the damn police anymore because you don't know who the rogue cop is. And you don't know what their last case was before coming to you. You don't know what they last saw. Excuse me. You don't know what was last said. You don't know what was last seen and what they're coming from before they approached you. So they may be a little abrasive. And then your response ends up becoming a trigger. That ain't cute. That's not cute. I've always advocated for mental health care for police officers and firefighters and EMTs. Why? Because that is something that needs to be ever present, ongoing. There need to be social workers inside the police stations, not just the chaplain. Chaplain is a good start because that's a spiritual element, and learning how to sit down and put into words what just happened and asking for forgiveness. And learning how to do stuff right. But then you still got to go decompress that. You talk to the social worker, the therapist or whoever is up in the office then. Set up an appointment so we can sit down and get you to debrief and to come out. I advocate for that constantly. In whose ever state, that there needs to be the thing. You understand? But when you can't trust the police because they're short-staffed, they don't come when you call or whatever the case may be, what does the community do? And why is it that folks feel as though that the senior citizens are supposed to be easy prey? How would you feel if somebody did that to your grandparents or your great grandparents. You know what I mean? That ain't cute. That there ain't cute, and we got to do better. But the question becomes, how do we do better when we don't even know what the hell to do in the first place? Now, how about that? How about that? All right, stand by, y'all. Let me give y'all another a little history to do. Wait a minute, which one is this one?
We have gotten so comfortable that decorum is gone.
Yep.
There's no decorum at graduation. People just yell and scream. If they say don't yell and scream or dress a certain way, everybody feel like they can do what they want to do and you can't say nothing to them. The problem in today's society that correction has come into question. And if there's no correction, you don't have no order, right? Braces hurt, but they correct the smile. In today's society, like I correct people as I go along, but I'm real nice to everybody. But if anybody come in my space and do something that bothers me, I correct on the spot. I will hold you accountable to your action, not allow you to manipulate, and I hold you accountable and I'll be nice to you and take the picture, whatever the case may be. But decorum and dressing the people wear what they want to wear, they do what they want to do, and you can't say nothing.
Nope.
And that's a problem. And that's why people that like us that decided to, that work hard and spend their money want to get together. And that's why we as one that speak the same language, we just want to be together because we don't want to be around that. Because when there's no order, you got chaos and disrespect and everything. And don't let nobody make you feel like you bougie because you decide to be clean, you decide to dress nice, you decide that you don't want to live in the projects anymore, you decide that you want to break the generation.
I was just saying that, right? I was just saying that, but he added the word decorum. Understanding decorum, understanding how to act. Why have we gotten away from being a representative of our entire families? You know what? I just heard something in my head. I already know why. Because when you don't know who your family is. But we've been so reckless to where we got, men with 34 kids, 17 baby mamas. Women, you got 17 kids with 15 different baby mamas because you got a set of twins. Kids ain't got no last name. The family don't even have a last name. And you want to make sure, because you're trying to stick it in and get to him or whatever, you give each child their father's last name so that they can make sure that they get child support or whatever, or make sure that whatever the father has, all of that. So when we've lost family ties, lost family connections, when we're not good with our parents or our siblings, everybody got grown, got mad, got in disorder, went on their separate ways. Oh, I don't fuck with them, man. Nah, I'm good. Then we don't have a family. So now you have nothing to be proud of. You don't step out on your own to be proud. You step out because you're trying to be a badass, a bad bitch. I don't need nobody. I can handle this on my own. Or a grown ass man. You know what I'm saying? We get into that particular vernacular. We get into that particular ideology, and then we become very, 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 very disrespectful to the world or to yourselves because you don't discipline yourself. Your decorum is funky. You don't take into consideration anything that's going on. You just do what the hell you want to do because you feel as though you can. And the whole who gonna check me boo attitude, fuck around and find out. Ain't that what they say? FAFO? Okay. All right. We got to do better, y'all. We've got to do much better than what we're doing. But the question is how? Because we're hearing that a lot. Oh, we got to do better. We got to do better. How do we do better? when the mentality is, I don't want to do better, or I don't need to do better. Okay. Okay. How do we do that? All right. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna play one more thing and then I'm gonna let y'all go. I just wanted to come up in here real quick so that I could get something on the air and carrying on. Wait a minute, because I'm trying to get in. I got to get back into doing my commercials. Hold on. All right. Okay, we're trying to do the thing. We're trying to do the thing. We're trying to do the thing. Okay. Let me play this last little clip and educate y'all on something. Check this.
Raise a hand. How many of y'all heard of the Saltwater Railroad? You know how the Underground Railroad went north? This one went south to the Bahamas. Think about it like this. There were a lot of free blacks in Spanish Florida, just living their life. But the United States took over Florida in 1819. All the black people knew it was going to get worse. Free and enslaved blacks dipped as soon as they could. So some folks hid out on South Beach until they could pay for somebody to take them to the Bahamas. But most people took canoes and braved the waves and the pirates that could return them at any time. I already know some of y'all saying, but didn't the Bahamas have slavery? They did, but in 1825, the British said anybody who lands on their soil, including their colonies, is free. And in 1834, the British started the process of emancipation in their colonies. So now you got the Bahamas, a majority black nation, free, right next to the United States. Oh yeah, that made slavery real volatile, hard to maintain. Check this out. In 1841, there was a ship transporting slaves from Virginia to Louisiana. And as soon as the ship got by the Bahamas, revolt. Them slaves snatched their freedom from that slave ship and settled in the Bahamas. There are towns with descendants of those who escaped that exist to this day. That's what we call the Saltwater Railroad.
All right. The Saltwater Railroad. That there was something that was not in my wheelhouse, honey. I didn't know nothing about this particular piece of African American history and carrying on. Now, I've never heard it called that. I've heard about settlers. I've known that we have been traveling all over the world prior to Columbus and carrying on, because we were doing a lot of the trading and stuff, a lot of the bartering and carrying on. So we knew about the American indigenous people, okay, or the natives of this country. We knew about them because we were always interacting with them and carrying on. But now, having the Saltwater Railroad come into play, I want to do a little bit more research on it to get acclimated to it so that we can find out, because we do know, the thing of it is, well, the reason how come, we got blacks in Jamaica and down in South America and carrying on is because the boats landed there first, and y'all got off or whatever, all of that particular jazz. And we have never acclimated to that. We've never considered that to be part of who we are as blacks, and especially in those particular places that are U.S. territories. The black folks down there, it's still considered to be a separate country. Those who are from all of the islands, the American, the British islands and all of the Caribbean islands, they're still considered to be countries and not just islands. That's a whole country, but that's a territory. So, but they still see themselves as different from us, because of how they don't govern themselves by American laws and this, that, and other. You know what I mean? But they do adhere to them as, they adhere to them, but they're still a different country. And that's just from my knowledge. I've never been to any of the islands, so I've never interacted with the culture on their own terms. I've been in New York and other places, where I've met a lot of islanders and carrying on. And we, that's something that we've dealt with. But this particular piece of education here about the Saltwater Railroad, Eddie, That's something that all of us need to embrace and make sure we start to teach. And see, here again, we have education that we are embracing as far as us as a people, as African descendants here in America. Okay. Uh, um, and with the whole education system being under attack, starting in Florida and other different places where they're trying to attack the education and don't want to teach, African American history and this, that, and the other for all whatever reasons and all the hoopla with all of that. We still got stuff that's coming out that we need to take into consideration and teach ourselves, educate ourselves, so that we know exactly who we are. Now here we are. Look at this. I'm 53 and coming up with this kind of information like this. This is the first time I've heard about the Saltwater Railroad in this capacity. So now what? Mm, and understanding and learning that, now we have to embrace our culture and all of our culture. We have to embrace that. Right now, I'm feeling myself about to ramble and carry on. I just want to come before you real quick and just give a little do up about this, that, and the others, and let y'all know what's going on. Tomorrow being Saturday, for those of y'all who are watching this in the playback, honey, if you're watching it, we are in September, so this is going to be September 23rd on tomorrow. Is that right? No, I'm sorry. Today is the 29th. Tomorrow's dag blasted. Yesterday was the 28th, right? And I'm a week behind. Damn it. I'm sort of thinking I had another week. Somebody did, oh, Lord. I done missed the thing. And I just realized I just missed something. But in any event, we're going to let you guys get up out here. I'm not going to sing out again. I didn't even sing coming in. I just wanted to touch bases with you guys and let you know that all is well. All is moving. All is grooving. We're just trying to get this campaign together. Get me to November 7th. If we get in the runoff, then we're going to be December 5th. Because it's, we don't take it flat out. It's going to be a runoff. So that there is where we are, okay? So in any event, I'm going to close with this. I'm going to let you guys go ahead on about your business. It's Friday night, and it is before the witching hour, honey. So it is 11:11 as I'm signing off, and we're going to make sure that you guys get it together, okay? Until the next time, my darlings, honey, I'm Big Meach. If you love me, honey, tell all your friends, honey. But if you hate me, you could tell all of your motherfucking enemies, okay? But in any event, please know that everything that we are doing over here in any way, shape, style, form, and or fashion, everything will move forward. My darlings, I thank you guys for putting up with me for this last little album. And now I'm going to get ready to go watch Power. Ha! And I'm going to unwind a little bit, get my dinner. I'm going to do some things. I went and bought some turkey tails. Ooh. I went and bought some turkey tails and some pork chops. And I got this taste for, I'm hoping I got some pinto beans in here, but I think I got black eyed peas. We're going to put them in the crock pot so they can cook all night long and give me a nice thick old broth in it with these turkey tails, baby. I got some bell pepper. I ain't got no onion. Oh, I gotta go get an onion because I'm gonna need some onions. Okay. So in these beans, season it just right. And here's a secret, y'all. I always use half water, half vegetable stock, so that it gives it more of the flavor. Yeah. Okay. And I think I'm gonna make me some. I haven't made my corny cornbread yet, and I used to just make some cornbread, honey, and I making jalapeno cornbread with the hotness in it, and a can of cream style corn and some cheese. Ooh, Yeah, the cornbread is a meal by itself, baby. But yeah, that's what's going to be din on tomorrow. Ooh. So let me get up out of here. I'm gonna let you guys go, and we're gonna call that great. So I'm gonna end with this, my commercial again. Okay. Resolved that the citizens, neighbors, and stakeholders of College Park should exercise their voting power and elect into office a leader that will treat the city as a whole city and not by individual wards, accept the ideas of its citizenry respectfully, is willing to have political agendas and critical yet passionate ideologies challenged, and will not only listen to the people, but amplify their voices in true power so that College Park can be the city they have decreed it to be and to become.